Alrighty, I popped the cap off. It's very dirty in here. And it does indeed have the centrifugal advance. There's the weights, you can kind of see. So it does actually have centrifugal and vacuum advance. Being the weird goof that I am, I'm going to pull this pertronix out and put the points back in it. Alright, when you pull out a distributor, you want to make sure that you bring it up on top dead center compression, which, when I put this distributor in, I pointed it towards number 1, and it's pointing towards number 1, so that means it is at top dead center compression. So now we can pull this thing out and not have to worry about going nuts retiming it. I guess it kind of helps if you unplug it first. Alright, I got the distributor out. It's pretty nasty looking. It's all goobery inside, so I'm going to hose it out and pull this pertronix kit out of it. I'm going to put the points back in it and then see how it runs. I'm going to see how it is with the centrifugal advance, because I don't think I ever checked the advance on it. I just set the initial and ran it. So if it runs and it actually advances with the centrifugal, if it advances enough, then I might pull this vacuum diaphragm off of it and kind of plug that hole up. Make it a little easier to get the wrench in there for the distributor hold down. Alright, I don't have anything against these pertronix kits. They actually work pretty well. This one I didn't have any problems with. Here's, I think, the part number, if you want one for your straight 6. One of those, maybe. But I'm one of those people that really doesn't like modern stuff. And points are not modern. Points are good. And this car, my whole idea of building this thing is I want a period correct hot rod from like the mid 70s. So that's why I'm getting rid of the 8.8. And that's why I've got a top loader instead of a T5 and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I have a Granada disc brake front end instead of some fancy Willwood setup. So, in my opinion, it's a lot more fun and a lot more interesting building cars that way. So anyways, I've got a set of points somewhere. I'm going to throw that in there. I'm going to hose this out with some carb cleaner because it's really grimy in there. Alright, so I got the points in it. Got them set at about 22 thousandths. And set the timing 10 degrees initial. That centrifugal advance is working. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it seems to idle a little smoother with the points. Either that or maybe the timing was a little off before, but it's running good. Seems to have better throttle response. Wonder if that timing was off. The distributor's moved a little bit or something. We've got a pretty big exhaust leak over here somewhere. You can hear it tapping. Not sure which cylinder it is. Somewhere over here. The center one is blown out. Feel the air right in there. See all the exhaust just coming up. Maybe I'll tighten that up. Hopefully it didn't blow out the gasket. But yeah, she's running good now. Pretty cool. Alright, so those points that I just put in that distributor came out of an earlier straight 6 distributor. And the points fit, but this condenser did not, because this is for an earlier one. It's got a totally different plate on it. So since I've got a Horde, I whipped out a V8 distributor, pulled the condenser out of it, and apparently it works. But you can see this ain't gonna fit. There's just no way for it to go in there and bolt on. So got that to work. Apparently the condensers are equivalent for the V8s, which makes sense. I don't see why they would be very different. But that's that.